The Tshwane Metro says it's investigating the origins of the cholera outbreak and is calling for it to be treated as a national emergency, according to some reports. Those comments were attributed to the Mayor, Sileas Brink. Let's speak now to MMC Themba Fosi, who's joining us tonight here on News at Prime. A very good evening to you, MMC. I'm grateful for your time. What new information, if any, are you able to share with South Africans tonight about the situation in Hammanskraal?
Good evening, Themba. Good evening to your viewers. The update in Hammanskraal is that we have set up a tent outside the hospital as a triage where the inflow of patients can be tested before they can be sent through to a hospital. We've doctors without borders who have come on board. A private sector also have come on board. The Coca-Cola that has come on board to assist us with the numbers. I must say, first, Themba, condolences to the resident of Hammanskraal who have family members that have demised, and we're doing everything in our power to have this situation. We are not blame shifting or pointing fingers at anyone, but we're saying let's work together and be able to solve this situation.
And MMC, just a moment, I'm not sure if you're alone in the room or if there's perhaps a radio or television set that's put on loud where the volume is up, but we are getting a bit of interference. If there is, I'm hoping whoever's in the room with you can either be quiet for the moment or turn that down for us. But I want to ask you about when you say that you are helping, especially the bereaved families. Many of the people who live in Hammanskraal don't have a lot of money. Will you now, as the city, assist in the burials as well?
There is a social development portfolio which is headed by MMC Themba, which is responsible for social development issues. She has been on the ground with us today and yesterday, trying to reach out to the families that have lost their loved ones. So far as that information is concerned, I think she'll be the best place to be able to say how many families has she intervened on and what the state has currently on. Fortunately, I'm on the ground with the team.
Right. I appreciate that you may not be the right person to speak to about the technicalities, perhaps, of assisting with burials, etc. So let's talk about the issue of water specifically, because at this stage, am I right to say, we are still waiting for a final report that can tell us where the outbreak came from. But when the mayor is being quoted saying by some outlets, the likes of EWN, that this should be treated as a national crisis, a national emergency, what does that mean for the city of Tshwane?
It means that we need all hands on deck from both the regional government and the national government to intervene and be able to assist us. This is massive. This is now way beyond the city of Tshwane. Remember, this Themba started over 16 years ago. So this has been thought on in both political parties. To a great extent, last week we met with the Water and Sanitation Minister to request his intervention so we can be able to have a collaborative effort and be able to assist us or assist each other with both our technical teams so that they can be able to break ground and make a change and a once-off decision that will be able to change the lives of the people of Hammanskraal.
So we've also today heard, our reporter Zikona Chwana was in that community, people in Hammanskraal, in fact, have even supplied Zikona with images of what they say are trucks basically dumping sewage in an open hole not too far from their homes. What do you know about that? And how long has it been going on?
Themba, we've got business forum people who have turned out to be thugs and a saw in our neck. In the Hammanskraal area, what happens is that the charging business, it has now turned out to be a mafia den. We are having challenges with trying to get assistance from SAPS and CMPD to be able to make sure that at this point in time, whilst we're still trying to solve the issue of the cholera, we have various patrons around trying to check whether that's there, and there's also no illegal gatherings or maybe perhaps people who are trying to agitate the situation. Remember, we have cut down trucks previously from 7 trucks to 3 water tankers 3 times a week. But now they've been fighting and fighting and fighting, sabotaging, and to a great extent even selling water to our residents, which is extremely illegal when we have invested so much millions to making sure that it's sustainable and then our residents are being supplied with water. So the water tanker business, it is now has gone out.
The water tanker business speaks to a failure by the Metro, National and other responsible government entities to supply clean drinking water or water that people are able to trust. Because if people had faith in the fact that you are supplying them with clean drinking water, they wouldn't be paying hundreds of rands to people who are clearly exploiting them because they're simply too afraid to drink the water that you are providing through their taps. So ultimately it comes back to that.
No. These are the very same service providers that are selling water to our people. Now, what happens is that we've got 3 extraction points in the Hammarsdale area. R101, which is quite supplying a big chunk of the area. It is a rainwater pipe, which is being monitored by COT. And also there's another one in Cleveland, just next to Themba, which is also from the Makhalis. And the social group block DD, there's also a fire hydrant where our trucks are receiving water. So it is true that we're supplying unhealthy water or proper water in that area. What happened is that we've got water tanker companies who are trying to make a back out of the situation that is dire now.
The point I was making, sir, was
that we have our...
Pardon me for interrupting you again, but the point I was making is that these unscrupulous business people are able to exploit people in this way because there's clearly a breakdown of trust. People don't trust the water coming out of their taps, which ultimately circles back to a failure, past and present, by the municipality to win back that trust. Do you agree?
In essence, let me tell you, at this day and age, it shouldn't be having water tanker supply. People either have to have communal taps or water drawn straight to their yards. We are far ahead of time to be using water tankers. I am way against the water tankers. I'm actually not even prepared to be discussing issues of water tankers because at this point in time we should be working towards and striving towards making sure that our people have access to water direct to their yards or to a great extent communal pipes. Unfortunately, we've got informal settlements that are being perpetuated by another political party which we have seen, and the Human Rights Commission has taken up the task to be able to provide them elemental services, which we are doing. Remember then, this is budget driven, not demand driven. So with the little budget that we have, we can go as far as that. Further than that, we can't because the demand is massively way over our budget.
So what about these trucks, basically mobile septic tanks, people say they are seeing, that are dumping sewage not too far from their homes? Why has that not been stopped by the city? Because it poses a clear risk.
I'm going to have to... I was notified about that just this afternoon by our media personnel through Zikona. And I must say that I will make my own investigations tomorrow together with the MMC for safety, community safety, and perhaps my other teams to make sure that we get as much detailed information so that we can be able to take these people to task.
How were you not aware until this afternoon? I mean, if residents had been aware of the problem to an extent where they were even, for example, able to take photos of these trucks that are coming to dump sewer, as they're alleging, surely someone should have flagged this with the city, or someone should have been monitoring that it's not happening.
We had an oversight. Last week, yes, I think we had an oversight with Councillor and our group heads to go and check where the issue was. One, it was that because it was load shedding, which was suspended on the 14th, our pumps were not functioning properly in that area. As a result, we had sewer returning back to the drains that are made. That's why we had issues with sewer. That is one. Fortunately, that part has been now suspended. We've got the generator that has been procured now from Thursday, which will make sure that even if we've got load shedding, sewer doesn't go back, this will still get started and be pumped out of the pumps.
We've also received pictures of what appears to be sewage, blocked toilets in the Hammarsdale area. Residents say that sewage has also now been flowing in their yards for quite a while, and it's been a recurring problem, as I understand it, from the reports we're getting, for more than 3 years now. Why has that not been contained? Because, again, it's a health risk.
Remember, the piping system in the Hammarsdal area is those old asbestos pipes, which is a problem, and they are passing. The lifespan is now over. That's one. The second part is that load shedding is not being assisting so far as pumping sewer out of those asbestos pipes. The third part is that we have procured a huge generator that will be able to assist us and make sure that the sump doesn't get filled up so that sewer goes back to the residents. So we have a two-pronged approach where we're making sure that even if with load shedding, we have a system that will be able to extract all the sewer away from the pipes so that we can be able to live normal lives.
But is that system working if people are still waking up and going to sleep with sewer flowing through their yards?
Remember, there's process. Much of this is a matter of agency. There's processes in PLC stuff. You need to make sure that you follow proper process before that, and then sites are being visited so that they can be able to make proper decisions. So I can actually tell you that by Thursday, a generator will be procured, and then it will be delivered in the following week so that we can be able to then mitigate the situation that we have.
So, MMC, I appreciate that you are part of a fairly new cohort of MMCs in the city of Tshwane, but people in Hammanskraal are fed up because the issue of sewage flowing through their streets, sewage being dumped by these operators not too far from their homes, didn't start yesterday. So when people hear that there are processes to be followed, it rings hollow, because when you've been dealing with the same frustration for years and you're told to wait for processes, how long should you have to wait? 15 people are dead at the moment from cholera-related illness. No one seems to know where the outbreak started. Should more people die before these processes are sped up?
We normally send updates via catalogs. We normally send via media, social media, Facebook and all of that, so that the residents can be able to know that what milestones have we achieved. So this point in time, without committing to time, we normally give people milestones that were done, that this is the stage 1 that has been completed. We're now on phase 2 where this and that will be done. So I can confirm with you, in the next week or so, we should have a functioning generator that will be able to extract all the sewer and those pipes to make sure that the lives of our people are back to normality. I can say that I understand this has been going for years, way past the DA administration. So we could solve this in a whim. It is a process, I think. However, we have all hands on deck. That is why we've also invited the ministry on the water and sanitation. On Friday, we're also having a meeting with the Minister of Water and Sanitation so that we can be able to have ways on how he can be able to intervene and assist us from this problem.
All right, MMC Themba Fosi, Tshwane MMC for Utilities.